Welcome to Elements of Mechanical Engineering, Module 4. So, we have already discussed in that two important topics, that is, first one, properties, composition, and industrial application of engineering materials. Along with the joining process, we have discussed already soldering, brazing, and welding. So, now we'll move forward. That is a new topic, so there is no relationship between the previous one and this one. So, that is one more important topic, that is belt drives. So, belt drive is nothing but one of the power drives that can be used in the mechanical applications. So here we need to study about different types of belt drives, mainly open and cross belt drive. Definitions with respect to slip, creep, velocity ratio. So these three important definitions that comes under belt drive, and derivation for length of belt in open as well as cross belt drive. So what is the length of the belt? So you have to derive an expression for the same, and ratio of tension in the belt drive. So here you have to derive one more derivation, so that is ratio of whatever the belt tensions, so that you have to derive. And coming to the uh, advantage, disadvantage of V belt, so this is one more type of belt, as well as another type of belt, that is timing belt. So along with the, we need to study about simple numerical problems. So this is about belt drive. So this is one of the important power drive. So transmission of the power from one place to another place. So that is one of the important drives. Again, we have a relationship with the power. So that is one more drive we have to study, that is gear drive. So once you finish belt drive, so next we'll go for gear drive. So that is the last topic in that module. The definition of belt drives. So this is the main topic, that is belt drive. So belt or any drive, so that can be used for transmission of power from one shaft to another shaft, because what is the importance of power in the mechanical application, because whatever the work we want to do, so power is needed. So that power is in the form of mechanical power, so that is 2 pi nt by 60, whatever the power that will get from the shaft, so we call it as shaft power. So but for certain application, so we need to transmit that power from one place to another place. So from one place, so usually whatever the prime movers, such as IC engines or electric motors, so we have to convert whatever the power from the one source, that is from the prime mover, so to another side, so that is called another shaft. So that is by means of many drives. So you have belt drive, similarly you have gear drive, similarly you have chain drive. So that is not there in your syllabus, but in our syllabus we have only two types of drive. One is belt drives, another one is gear drives. So first we'll discuss about how we can transmit the power with the help of belt drives. The belt or ropes, so you can provision here, either you can use belts or you can use ropes to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft by means of pulleys. So pulleys is very important thing here, which rotate at same speed or at different speed. So you can transmit from one shaft to another shaft. So when the shaft may rotate at same speed or if in different at different speed. So based on this criteria, you can transmit the power from one place to another place. That is possible with the help of belt drives or rope drives. So this is about definition of belt drives. Now coming to the next point, that is the amount of power transmitted depends upon following factors. The first one is velocity of the belt. So whatever the amount of power transmitted from one shaft to another shaft, so that will be depend upon following important factors. Then only you can transmit whatever the power effectively. So the first one is the velocity of the belt. So velocity of the belt is very important. So it should be the whatever the velocity of the belt should be very high. So then only the whatever the power transmitted, that also very high. So another thing, the tension under which the belt is placed on the pulleys, the whatever the tension, so always belt is subjected to tensions. That will see what are the different types of tension that present in the belts. So tension is nothing but force. So always belt is subjected to certain uh, tension. So because of this tension, uh, whatever the power, so that also increase. If tension in the belt, if it is more, then the power transmission also very high. And third one, the arc of contact between the belt and smaller pulley, so this value should be very high for maximum power transmission. So the arc of contact means there will be a contact between belt and pulley surface, because always whatever the belt, that will move over the two pulleys. There will be two pulleys, one is called driver pulley, another one is called driven pulley. So driver pulley usually uh, which is connected to the prime mover, so that is it's nothing but IC engines or electric motor. So from there you can transmit the power to uh, some other place or to some other shaft. So that is called driven, whatever the pulley that is connected to the driven shaft, we call it as driven pulley. So when this arc of contact, because a belt that touches to the pulley surface, not entirely, some portion of the belt, so that is contact with pulley surface, so that is called arc of contact. If this arc of contact increases, so then you will get maximum power transmission. And fourth one, the condition under which belt is used. So if based on different conditions used, so that also depends upon power transmission of the belt drive. Now, how to select a belt drive, because you want to do certain application or a certain mechanism for your mechanism, so we need a belt drive. But based on which factors you can select a particular belt drive, because in belt drive also you have different types of belt drive, so that also we'll discuss later. But we have different types of power drive. Mainly we have gear drives, we have chain drives, similarly we have belt drives. So how can we select belt drive? So what are the factors need to be considered? So that is very important. The main factors, there are 8 factors. The first one is speed of driving and driven shaft. So you should know what is the speed at which driving and driven shafts are rotating. So you should know about what is the speed requirement for your application. If a driver speed is rotating at certain RPM means, so you want to decrease the speed, because another shaft you want to be rotated lower RPM. So these details very important, because whatever the pulley diameters, so that based on this this speed is dependent. So we have a velocity ratio here, so that also we'll discuss later. Now second one, speed reduction ratio. So how much amount of speed should be reduced, so that is depend on speed reduction. So usually this is driving speed divided by driven speed. So N1 divided by N2. So N1 means driving speed or speed of rotation of driver, and driven speed is also called follower speed. So that is speed of rotation of follower or speed of rotation of driven pulley or driven shaft. So how much amount of speed you need to reduce? It means that driver is rotated say 1000 rpm, so the driven should be rotated 500 rpm. So based on this criteria you have to select appropriate pulley diameter. So if you change the diameter of the pulley, so there is a possibility of reducing speed. Now third one, the power to be transmitted. So what are the amount of power to be transmitted? So whether you want to transmit high power, whether you want transmit medium power, whether you want transmit lower power. So based on this we have different types of drive. Similarly, fourth one, center distance between the shaft. What is the center distance between the two shaft? It's nothing but distance between the two shaft. So one shaft may be located at one point, so another shaft may be located at certain distance. So the distance between the center, if you take from the center of driver pulley to center of driven pulley, so that distance we call it as center distance. For how long you can transmit the power, because we have different types of drive, so you cannot transmit power for a longer distance in case of gear drive. So that also we'll discuss in next topic. But a belt drive that can be used for longer distance, so that depends upon center distance between the shafts. Then fifth one, a positive drive requirement. So positive drive requirement in the sense, so there should not be any slip, and you should get constant velocity throughout the power transmission. So that can be possible only if there should not be a one phenomenon that is called slip. Slip in the sense the belt should not uh, release from the pulley. So that phenomenon is called slip. So that also discuss later. Then sixth one, shaft layout. So how will be the shaft layout? So based on this, the shaft layout is nothing but in a there will be so many shaft. So based on shaft layout, so you can select a belt drive. Then seventh one, space available, because some of the application there will be a space constraint, so then you cannot go for whatever the power transmission for longer distance. In such cases you have to go for power transmission with for a smaller distance, because there is no much space in the system. So that's why this also plays very important role while selecting a belt drive. Eighth one, service conditions. So what about service? Service is in sense, oh, it may be the working hour, or it may be the environmental conditions. So based on service condition also we need to select a particular belt drive. So these are the different uh, criteria or factors we can say for selecting a particular belt drive. Now coming to the types of belt, we have three different types of belt. One is light drives, second one medium drives, and heavy drives. So this is usually based on the transmission of the power. So if light drives is nothing but when you want to transmit power for a at a belt speed up to 10 meter per second, so then we can say it is light drives. Similarly the medium drives, so these are used to transmit powers at a belt speeds over 10 meter per second, but up to 22 meter per second. So then we can say it is a medium drives or medium belt drives. And third one, so these are used to transmit large power at belt speed above 22 meter per second. So then we call it as heavy drives. So light drives usually used in agriculture machines and small machine tools. Medium drives that can be used in machine tools application, and heavy drives usually used in compressor or generator in generators. So these are the different types of belt drive based on velocity of the belt drive. So there will be different classification based on different factors. So this is one of the factor based on belt speed. So that is very important thing. Now another classification of the belt, so that is belt drive based on shape of the belt. So usually belt drive, so belt is the main thing, so that will having different cross section. So based on cross section of the belt, we have three types of belt drive. So first we'll classify what are the three different types of belt cross section. So first one is flat belt. As the name implies, the whatever the belt, that is flat in the sense, see here, you can see here, it is of a rectangular cross section. If you cut the belt, so you can see a rectangular cross section, and whatever the area of that, you can calculate it as length into width into uh, that is depth, thickness into width. So that is the area of the flat belt. So it is in the form of rectangular shape. Now coming to the another type of belt, that is called V belt. If the cross section is trapezoidal cross section, see here the cross section of the belt is trapezoidal, so you can see here hatched area. So then we can say it is V belt. And if you use V belt in the power drive, so then we call it as V belt drive. Similarly, if you use flat belt or rectangular cross section belt, then we call it as flat belt drive. Similarly, we have one more type of belt drive, so that is called circular belt or rope. Similarly, if we use circular belt or circular belt, or we call it as rope in belt drive, then we call it as circular belt drive, or it is commonly called as rope drive. Now coming about center distance, so when the distance between the two shaft usually not more than 8 meters, so then the best option is flat belt. So again I will tell you, so if the distance between the two shaft is not more than 8 meters, then we can go for flat belt. And also when the moderate amount of power to be transmitted, so then we have to go for flat belt. So flat belt that can be used whenever the moderate amount of power is to be transmitted from one shaft to another shaft, then you have to go for flat belt drive. At the same time, when the center distance between the two shaft should not be more than 8 meters. Then what about V belt? So V belt, so we can use when the great amount of power is to be transmitted. So it means that more power we can transmit from one shaft to another shaft. In such cases, always you have to preferably select V belt or V belt drive. So again here, so one of the disadvantage is, so you cannot use it for longer distance. So whatever the distance, it should be uh, very lesser than 8 meters. So then we have to go for V belt. But so whatever the power transmission, that is more in case of V belt. Now coming to the circular belt. So circular belt, usually we call it as rope belt drive. or we call it as rope drive. So that can be used for great amount of power you can transmit from one shaft to another shaft. So again you have flexibility over center distance. You can use it for more than 8 meters. So when the center distance is too long, we can say more than 8 meters, then the best option is rope drive or circular belt drive. So that is about classification of belt based on shape of belt. So the main thing is the area here is rectangular, and here is it is trapezoidal, and here it is circular. So now we'll move forward, that is materials. What are the materials we can use for belt? So there are four important belt materials. So you have leather belts, cotton or fabric belts, rubber belt or balata belts. These belts we can use for any engineering application in order to transmit power from one shaft to another shaft. So main properties of the belt material is, so whatever the belt we can use for belt drive, so the material should have a high coefficient of friction with the pulleys. That is very important thing. So the belt material should have a high coefficient of friction. So because the belt drive always depends upon friction, coefficient of friction that may arises between pulley surface and belt surface. So then only you can transmit the power effectively. So without friction you cannot transmit power from one shaft to another shaft. The main working principle behind this type of power drive is coefficient of friction between the pulley and belt. So that is very important thing. So that's why whatever the material it should have high coefficient of friction with pulleys. That is one of the main properties of the belt material. At the same time, the belt material should have high tensile strength to withstand belt tension, because the belt is always subjected to the tension, so it should not fail. So that's why the whatever the belt material you selected, you should have high tensile strength. The tensile strength, the ability to withstand whatever the force, that should be very high. So one more important property is the belt material should have high wear resistance. The wear resistance of the belt material should always high. So otherwise there will be a wear and tear takes place, and that leads to failure of the belt. And one more important properties of the belt material, so that is you should have high flexibility. So that also very important. So usually the whatever the belt material, you should have flexibility in order to avoid whatever the vibration or damping, so that may present in the system, we can say whatever the shaft, so that may subject it to certain shock loads. So if these material made up of like leather or cotton, it should have high flexibility, so then you can avoid such vibration, so that is possible. So you have to take care about materials while selecting the belt material for certain application, so that also plays very important role. Now we'll discuss about flat belt drive. So we already know what you mean by flat belt drive. So if the cross section of the belt is rectangular, and this type of belt usually recommended when the moderate amount of power to be transmitted from one shaft to another shaft. At the same time, when the center distance it should be less than 8 meters, so then only you can go for this type of belt drives. So based on uh, flat belt, again you have two classification. The one we call it as open belt drive, another one we call it as crossed or twist belt drive. So we'll see in detail about this. So that is first one, open belt drive. See, all of you look at here. So this is belt drive. So this is called open belt drive. So you can see here, so whatever the circular element here, so that is called pulley. So this is bigger pulley, and here you can see this is smaller pulley. So here you can see A and B. So A and B is nothing but two shaft. So we have to transmit the power from this shaft to this shaft. So here you can see this is the uh, one more view. So you can see here, so this is the belt. So this is the uh, top view, and this is the front view. So you can see here, these two are the shaft. So this is the axis of shaft. Similarly here, axis of shaft B. So if you from the top side, you can see belt. So this belt you can see, and there will be two pulleys. One is called driver, so another one is called driven. So driver, in the sense, it is usually connected to the prime mover. Understood, right? So prime mover. So you want to transmit power from driver to driven, so that is possible with the help of one more element. So that is that element we call it as belt. So this is belt. It is wounded over these two pulleys. Here what will happen, the whatever the rotary motion, because shaft is always rotating element. So based on this rotation, the driver pulley also rotate. So if these rotate, whatever the rotary motion, so that will convert into translatory or reciprocating motion of the belt. So because we used here belt drive, so that's why the rotary motion is converted into translatory motion. Again, the translatory motion of the belt, that is converted into rotary motion of the driven. So if driven pulley rotates, again the shaft B will also rotate. Similarly, we can say whatever the drive, so that can be used for transmit the motion from one shaft to another shaft. So if it is coupled with the prime mover, this pulley, if belt is not there, so you cannot rotate this shaft, that is shaft B, you cannot rotate. So the rotation of this shaft is possible only if you use belt. So belt is always subjected to two type of tension. So usually we call it as slack side tension, another one we call it as tight side tension. So that is very important. So tight side, in the sense, as the name implies, the whatever the tension, so that will be maximum here in this side. So that side we call it as tight side, and the side having minimum than tight side, whatever the tension, so that is called slack side tension. So always in open belt drive, so the tight side will be at the bottom side. So if this rotates in a clockwise direction, so there will be a pulling force at this side, and this pulls the belt from the driven side and try to rotate. So it will release here, release in the sense, it will push the belt, so that whatever tension the tension will be less as compared with the tight side tension. So this is called slack side tension, this is called tight side tension. So these two are important tension in the belt drive. If you use any belt drive, so these two tension will be there, that is slack side and tight side. Along with these tensions, some other tensions also there, that is called initial tension, because before placing this belt over pulleys, certain amount of the tension should be there. It should not be loose, then you cannot get the proper grip. So that such type of tension we call it as initial tension. Similarly, while rotation, this may subjected to centrifugal force. Because of centrifugal force, there will be one more tension, that is called centrifugal tension. So there will be so many tension, but these two tensions are very important. One is tight side tension, another one is slack side tension. Now coming to the characteristics of open belt drive. So you can see here, if driver rotates in clockwise direction, so driven also rotate in same direction. So whenever you want the shaft to be rotating same direction, so we can say here clockwise direction, so then we have to go for always open belt drive. So we have one more drive, cross belt drive. So the whatever the characteristics will be somewhat different than open belt drive. So in cross belt drive, so you can get opposite uh, rotation. So if driver rotates in clockwise, means the whatever the driven will be in opposite direction. So that will also discuss later. So an open belt is in which the belt proceed from the top of the one pulley to the top of the another pulley. So there should not be any crossing. So you can see the belt is not crossed here, so that's why it is called open belt. But in case cross belt drive, so usually the belt is crossed each other, so that's why it is called cross belt drive. But here there is no crossing at all. So this type of belt usually used when the driver and driven pulleys rotate in the same direction. So that is one of the important characteristics of the open belt drive. You can see here now another type of belt drive, that is cross belt drive. So flat belt drive, so there is a one more type of flat belt drive, that is called cross or twist belt drive. So here also you can see the driver, if rotates in clockwise direction, means the driven will be rotating anti-clockwise direction, because whatever the belt that is cross each other. Here whatever the belt that will proceed from the top of one pulley to the bottom of the another pulley, again from the top of driven pulley to bottom of the driver pulley. So this is the manner for whatever the belt, so that is cross each other. So that's why it is called crossed or twist belt drive. So you can see the layout from the top side. So this is belt, so belt is crossed each other. So now we can see some of the differences between the these two belt drives, because both belt drives are uh, that is based on a flat belt drive. So but the whatever the applications, so that will be different. So what are the differences that we have to look? The first difference is, so whatever the open belt that can be used for in the two pulleys, whatever the rotation you want in same direction, so then we have to go for open belt drive. So but here the whatever the speed of rotation for driver and driven pulley are opposite. So that is one of the important difference. The second difference is the crossing, because in open belt drive there is no crossing of belt, but in cross belt drive, so always belt cross each other. It means that, so there will be a rubbing action between the belt, so that is very dangerous, and it may, so because of this what will happen, so there will be a wear and tear. So there will be a rubbing action between these two belt. So because of this, so increase in wear, and it leads to reduce the life of the belt. The life of the belt will be very less as compared to open belt drive. So this is uh, one of the disadvantage part of the cross belt drive. One of the important advantage of cross belt drive is because whatever the angle of contact, so whatever the angle of contact is nothing but the contact uh, region of the belt and pulley, so that is more in case of cross belt drive than open belt drive. So angle of contact, see here, L to Q, so this arc length is under contact for the driver pulley. Similarly here, R to M, so whatever the belt that is under contact, it is more than R2M. So start from here, similarly here, so whatever the contacting area, so that will be more in case of cross belt drive. If angle of contact is more, means the power transmission also more. So that is the one of the advantage part of the cross belt drive. Now coming to the velocity ratio, so this is one of the important topic in belt drive. So what you mean by velocity ratio? So velocity ratio is nothing but the ratio between the velocities of the driver pulley to driven pulley. So usually the driver is rotated at higher speed than driven. So what is the ratio of these speeds? That is n1 divided by n2. So velocity of the driver pulley to the driven pulley is nothing but velocity ratio. So length of the belt that passes over the driver in 1 minute is given by pi d1 n1. So pi into d is nothing but circumference of the pulley. So what is nothing but circumference of the pulley. D is nothing but diameter. So 1 stands for driver and 2 stands for follower or driven. So the length is whatever the length of the belt that passes over the driver is given by pi d1 n1. Similarly, length of the belt that passes over the follower in 1 minute, so it's given by pi d2 n2. Here n1 and n2 are speed in rpm, so that is revolution per minute. So length of the belt that passes over the driver in 1 minute is always equal to the length of the belt that passes over the follower in 1 minute. Therefore the pi d1 n1 is equal to pi d2 n2. So this is one of the important equation. So velocity ratio is given by n1 divided by n2, because the pi will get cancel, pi will get cancel. So that's why d1 n1 is equal to d2 n2. So if d1 equal to d1 n1 is equal to d2 n2 means, so n1 divided by n2 is equal to d2 by d1. So it indicates that whatever the velocity ratio, that is depend on whatever the diameter of the two pulleys, that is driver pulleys and driven pulleys. So this is equation for velocity ratio, and this equation can be used while solving the problems. So all of you know that this is one of the important equation in belt drive. Now if thickness is considered, so then the velocity ratio can be given as, you have to add whatever the thickness to the diameter of the pulleys, that is n1 divided by n2, that is equal to d2 plus t divided by d1 plus t. Thickness you have to add to the respective diameter. So that is about velocity ratio. So now coming to the one more phenomenon that is commonly occurred in the belt, we call it as creep. So creep in the sense when the belt passes from the slack side to tight side. So you know already the belt is passes from one side to another side. A certain portion of the belt that extend and it contracts again. So there will be expansion and contraction. So again, so when the belt passes from tight side to slack side, it means that there will be a tension as well as compression in the belt. So certain portion of the belt extend. So when it passes from slack side to tight side, and it contracts again when belt passes from the tight side to slack side. So due to these changes of the length, so there is a relative motion between the belt and pulley surfaces. So this relative motion we call it as creep. So this is one of the important phenomena that is called creep. So there will be a relative motion arises, so that is called creep. The total effect of creep is to reduce slightly the speed of the driven pulley or follower. So the main effect of this creep is to reduce the speed of driven or follower pulley. So we have to consider the effect of this while solving the problems. So that is called considering the creep effect. So we can modify velocity equation, that is n2 divided by n1 is equal to d1 divided by d2 into e plus root sigma 2 divided by e plus root sigma 1. So here sigma 1 and sigma 2 so are the stresses induces at tight side and slack side respectively. So sigma 1 indicates tight side stress, and sigma 2 we call it as slack side stress. So that is about creep. So now one more phenomena that is called slip of the belt. So slip means there may be some forward motion of the driver, so without carrying the belt with it. So this phenomenon we call it as slip. So driver will moves without carrying the belt. So the result of the belt slipping is to reduce the velocity ratio of the system, because you cannot achieve high velocity ratio in belt drive because of this phenomena that is called slip. So how to consider this slip? So we have to consider slip in terms of percentage. Usually S1 percentage, that is with respect to driver and belt. Similarly driver, pulley and belt. Similarly S2 percentage, that is slip between belt and follower. So S1 and S2 are the slip between the driver and follower. So how to consider this in velocity ratio, that we'll see now. So velocity of the belt passing over the driver per second. So usually velocity is given, that is pi d1 n1 divided by 60. This is the velocity with respect to driver pulley. Understood, right? So if you consider the slip certain percentage, that is s1 percentage, so you have to multiply with so whatever the original velocity. So if you multiply that one, so this value will be minimum. So that effect we have to uh, minus from the original value. So because of this s1 slip, so there will be a whatever the velocity that will reduce. So after considering the s1 slip, percentage of slip, so velocity will be pi d1 n1 divided by 60 into 1 minus s1 divided by 100. So you can see here. Similarly for the belt passing over the follower, so how to consider for the follower? So follower is velocity is pi d2 n2 divided by 60 So this is the actual velocity minus v into s2 divided by 100. So that is given by v into 1 minus s2 divided by 100. Now you can see here pi d2 n2 divided by 60. So is given by v is nothing but pi d1 n1 divided by 60 after considering the s1 slip and s2 slip together. So 1 minus s1 divided by 100 into 1 minus s2 divided by 100. So if you can use whatever the velocity. So if you can write, so the LHS and RHS we have to make in terms of velocity ratio, that is n2 divided by n1. If you write n2 divided by n1, so you will get d1 divided by d2 into 1 minus s1 divided by 100. So 100 is because s1 is in terms of percentage, that's why you have to divide it by 100 minus s2 divided by 100. So you will get d1 divided by d2 into 1 minus s divided by 100. So we have to represent both slip together, that is s1 percentage plus s2 percentage. S is nothing but s1 plus s2. So again if you consider thickness in the velocity ratio, so the modified equation will be, so you have to add thickness to the diameter of the driven and driver pulley, that is n2 divided by n1 is equal to d1 plus t divided by d2 plus t into 1 minus s divided by 100. So this is about slip in belt drive. So this is one of the important equation for velocity ratio by considering the percentage of slip. Next, coming to the length of belt in open belt drive, so that we'll discuss in next class. So we have to derive one expression for what is the length of the belt, what is the total length of the belt in case of open belt drive. Similarly, in case of cross belt drive, so what is the length of the belt, so that we have to derive two expressions separately. So I think we'll continue in next class. Thank you.